Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are on Wednesday, October 25th. We're going to take a look at QS today. So QS has earnings coming up, as I'm sure you're aware. And I thought we'd come in and take a look at trend lines, support and resistance levels, and the Thinkorswim study to sort of gauge where it might move and what might happen when it gets to certain price points along the way. So they're anticipating potentially a significant move based off of earnings. We'll see if that takes shape. Who knows? But one thing that I notice off the bat is this down channel, right? So we have downtrend support and resistance. We're going to call it downtrend support. But that's, even in recent days, it has played off of both bounds of that channel. It is a pretty tightly confined channel. That said, the price of the stock being under $6, there's not a whole lot of price movement to play with if it wants to be moving up and down. So to me, if it does want to break one way or the other, it needs to move out of that channel and make a significant enough move away from it that it's able to sustain it. Meaning, when it came out of the bottom of the channel here, it didn't ever get enough distance, right? It just kind of bottomed out here and based itself back into the down channel. And that could happen even to the upside, right? It could come here and then it could kind of base itself and then pull back a little bit and be right back into the channel. Or follow the channel down just outside of it like this. That's more often what I jokingly call downtrend support. But we'll put in some levels here. This 666 level, I had to double check if I'm seeing that right. That's a super strong level. You see this support level here. It wrestled with it here and then confirmed the support there, shot off this big move, but then even here, it really tried to hold on there. That's where it based itself back into the channel and continued to do so until it hit its head on the upper bound of that channel and then lost support and just clearly flipped it to resistance and continued treating it as resistance as recently as just a few days ago. So to my mind, if it does make an up move, I'd be really interested to see what it does at that 666 level, because that has shown itself to be quite a challenging one for it in the past. 727 also strong level there. What's interesting is, at least with this sort of strong motion relatively recently, we do have some good levels to pull from. It's moved through a lot of price action and they aren't necessarily super tight in. So the double-edged sword there is you don't end up with 1,000 different support and resistance levels on your chart, so it doesn't look super cluttered, but you do end up with quite a bit of percentage gain and loss between the support and resistance levels because it can move quite strongly. Okay, so these are the levels that look important to me. I guess I should put something below because we're only at 580, and that's not going to be super helpful if it dips further. So let's see what we have here. Okay, 540, and then let me just see. Okay, and then I'll just sort of note that 511 because we don't really have anything helpful to go off of aside from that. So if it does shake this 580 level, 540, 511, who knows? If it has a really atrocious reaction and it starts pushing more toward that 5, then we can always come back and take a look if folks are interested. But to the upside, if it does decide to push 630, the most important one to my mind, even beyond the 630, is 666. That 727 is also quite strong, as is that 807. So to the upside, it does have some really, really sticky areas. But like I said, percentage-wise, they are sort of spread out. So it might still have plenty of room to move if it wants to move in either direction quite strongly before it hits sticky or strong levels. Now on the Thinkorswim study, we see way up here, this is way up in the 7s though, this 180 to 200 EMA cloud. That's sort of helping to confirm it's in its downtrend, which is probably not surprising if you're following the stock, but it's been pinned underneath the mid-range of this channel, not really popping out, below the channel much, right? We see a little bit back here, but not really much of anything. And then pinned itself to the mid-range of the channel while it was triggering on the TTM squeeze indicator, fired, and just kind of moved sideways. So of particular interest to me is the setup on the TTM squeeze indicator here. You see trigger and fire. Nothing really happened. Yes, it continued to trickle down a little bit, but there was no really strong reaction to that fire. So now it's re-triggering here for several days while it still is basically pinned toward or at to the mid-range of the channel. So this could be a really strong cue for an opportunity for a strong reaction to earnings. Have to wait and see. Of course, that's going to depend on the news and on the sort of sentiment around that news itself. But it appears to me as though chart-wise. Hey folks, just so you know, you can get these videos early and ad-free. If you click on the description below and become a member, you can make that happen, and I really appreciate the support. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the video. The potential for a strong reaction to the catalyst is there. Will it take shape? I don't know. And if it does, which way will it go? I don't know. That's why we put levels above and levels below, so that we can watch what the price does if and when it reaches those levels. But really of particular interest to me is this whole story right here. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is going well and that you finish it off strong in the days ahead. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.